All right, so this is a suggestion via Discord. The name of the video is The 6888, the most Netflix movie of all time. All right, let's go and check this out immediately. This is coming from the channel The Critical Drinker. Let's do it, guys.
Delma, my wife and I have been talking about the problems we are having with the mail.
This cannot be real.
With the mail.
The Postal Battalion?
Okay.
It's not real. Nobody would make a show about this.
This is
Postal Battalion.
our mission!
Okay, now, guys, really quickly, base of history. I'm guessing we're most likely going to be somewhere between WW1, WW2, let's say. But based off of like the specific Jeeps that are visible, Jeep as in GP, as in general purpose vehicle, that are available on the screen currently, I'm going to forecast WW2. Now, there definitely was a postal battalion historically. They were moderately important, but I am not sure if they were not specifically like largely consisting of women, they would not be making this movie right now. Is that what this is about, guys? Let me know. I haven't seen the
And
trailer.
we will not fail!
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It is real.
It is.
Allow me to
Oh,
pose
no.
you a question, dear viewer.
Okay,
when you
we're here.
think of the heroes of the Second World War, what
Okay.
do you imagine in your mind? Could it
Probably Audie Murphy. I think that's probably the in the forefront of any like historian or history lover's mind in the first place, guys. WW2, Audie Murphy, guys, the most decorated combat soldier in WW2. This man, okay, by himself was like, oh, bro, that's a tank over there. There are some Germans coming. I know what I can do. I can wipe them all out. And that's basically what he did, bro. He packed up 50 Germans in WW2 by himself. All right. That's what he did. This man is a legend. Make a movie about Audie Murphy. I'd watch it, guys. But Postal Battalion?
when you think of the heroes of the Second World War,
Bro, is that why Germany named that car Audi? What do you think? Right? Like, listen, the only thing that could basically beat us was Audi. So let's go ahead and name, one of our manufacturers, right? Audi. The guy who beat us.
what do you imagine in your mind? Could it be the first wave of British and American soldiers who went ashore into a storm of fire and metal on the beaches of Normandy?
That's valid
Maybe the
also,
Soviet
Normandy.
conscripts, starving and badly equipped, who charged to almost certain death across the frozen, blasted hellscape of Stalingrad's. Perhaps the Marines slogging through the steaming jungles and islands of the Pacific against a fanatically determined enemy. Well, if your answer fell into any of those categories, then
Yeah, I'll give you that.
clearly...
You've got to do better, Senator. You've got to step up.
Because
What is
as
this?
everyone knows, the truly heroic battle of the Second World War was sorting a backlog of undelivered mail. I
Wow,
just
what?
can't, man. Like, what are we even doing here? That right there is
Oh
the
my God.
subject of Netflix's compelling new show, The 6888.
I'm guessing they invested into this film before like the left took a massive like spanking. All right, I think that's probably what happened. This was coming out no matter what via some like random DEI thing. Like, let's do this because this means something to the people. It means nothing. It means nothing but more than virtue signaling to a specific group that you're looking to bring in eyes to. Would this show get watched? Yes, by the exact aesthetic, let's say, that you're mainly seeing on the show, and I would say probably that exclusively. But all right, let's continue.
Based on the real life exploits. Wait, is exploits really the word I'm looking for here? The real life
exploits.
administrative task that was carried out by the American 6,888th
Well played.
Central Postal Directory Battalion during World War II.
That's more than I thought
I'm
there
not
were.
making this up. And I know this totally isn't how unit designations work, but I really love the idea that there's almost 7,000 postal battalions in the US Army. We don't get much fighting done in this here army, but goddamn, our letters arrive on time every time.
Mm-hmm.
The gist of the show, and I'm gonna do my best to make this sound as dramatic as possible here, is that
Wait, guys, hold on one second.
the gist of the show, and I'm gonna do my best to
All right, so here's the thing. Like, this would have definitely not said Jeep. Yeah, these vehicles are Jeeps, obviously single axle vehicles and things like that. They would have definitely said like GP, unless this is much later on into the war itself. But how about this? Into the kerfuffle, because initially the only reason why they're called Jeeps is because it's general purpose. They would just say G and P next to each other, and it would just be like, "Bring me the Jeep."
Make
Anyway.
this sound as dramatic as possible here is that by 1944 there was a massive backlog of mail to and from the hundreds of thousands of men fighting on the front lines in Europe. Naturally, this was bad for morale because soldiers like to get news from their families back home, so the army assigned the 6888 Battalion to tackle the problem. And they did, by working quickly and efficiently to sort and deliver letters.
Okay.
I mean, that's it really.
Nice.
Really?
So why exactly were Netflix keen to make a multi-million-dollar TV show about
Oh, bro, you know why. I'm looking at the cast. It's obvious.
it?
You mean the white women's
Don't tell me Oprah is inside this. Listen.
army corps?
Oh,
Or is there another?
Well, I think
Hank?
you know why. Isn't
I
it
know
funny
why.
when studios are fully aware that their output's grown so ridiculous that it's literally become a meme, and instead of course correcting to prove their detractors wrong, they just say, fuck it, we're going all in, boys. Like, I can totally get behind the idea of telling lesser known stories or promoting the unsung heroes of World
Right.
War II, especially ones from more diverse backgrounds that you don't tend to hear much about.
Right, absolutely. I don't disagree with it at all. But when things become pretty obvious and in your face, things are a little weird. Okay. Now, if they went out to basically talk about the postal services within WW2, great, let's do it. Sure, but if you start adding all like the Michael Bay sound effects, visual angles, and anamorphic lens flares and things like that, guys, I'm gonna be honest, that does not seem very exciting. I think you're only you're kind of only propping it up, let's say, exclusively because these are black women being portrayed. That's it. That's the only reason why you're doing it. Like, how much value is actually in that, other than the concept of virtue signaling, specifically to the audience that is going to specifically go and watch this. And to be honest, I'm not sure many women are watching this type of thing. But you know what? Listen, who knows? I'm not a woman.
And there's a plethora of stuff to choose from if you care to look for it. Like Virginia Hall, a distinguished OSS field agent who worked in occupied Europe, created an entire spy network by herself, helped to arm French commandos, and was the only female civilian to receive the Distinguished Service Cross. Or the Tuskegee Airmen, an all-black fighter unit who flew bomber
There are multiple movies about this.
or escort missions over Europe and were credited with destroying or damaging over 400 enemy aircraft. Or Ludmila Pavlichenko, a Russian sniper known as Lady Death by her enemies, who was the most successful female
Hacking
sniper of
people
the
up
war with over
consistently.
300 confirmed
Yeah.
kills.
Right.
Or Vernon Baker, an African-American soldier who personally took out 3 German machine gun nests, a command post and a dugout after his platoon was pinned down by superior German forces and was eventually awarded the Medal of Honor. Or the Night Witches, an all-female bomber regiment who took to the air in rickety old biplanes that were so overloaded the pilots couldn't even carry parachutes.
Bro, you see how all of these things sound cool? You see this? Like, these were the actual heroes of WW2, bro. Like, this is what we should have done. What is Netflix doing? All right. Initially, when I saw this, I didn't know what 3888 was. What does that even mean? All right. Well, 6888. I don't know what that is. The most Netflix movie of all times. That didn't even make any sense in my head. But now I'm seeing you're using the word Netflix as kind of like the most DEI-oriented movie of all time. That's what you're saying here? Okay.
Who flew in pitch darkness and attacked German positions all along the Eastern Front. I could go on and on for hours listing people and groups who fought and often died for their countries in World War
Right.
II and deserve a lot more recognition than they got, whose stories would lend themselves pretty easily to a movie or TV show, and you're telling me that this is the best you could come up with? Fucking postal workers? I mean, no disrespect whatsoever to the real life women who actually did this work. I'm sure it was long and tedious and demanding by today's standards, but describing their story as heroic is a bit of a stretch, don't you think?
Yes.
It's not like they were fighting on the front lines and risking life and limb to deliver vital communications that would turn the tide of battle or anything. They were sorting mail in an admin building in England, and they didn't even get there until February 1945 when the war was practically over. Sorry ladies, but paper cuts and cold coffee isn't quite the same level of danger as storming an enemy bunker or facing down a German Tiger tank. Tell me, what else have you got in store for us, Netflix? The inspirational story of Bob from accounts and his attempts to file his backlog of TPS reports before the end of the tax year? Brenda's
What is that? TPS report.
heroic last-minute push to have that PowerPoint presentation ready in time for the big corporate seminar? Larry refusing to let a shortage of printer ink stop him from displaying warnings about leaving unwashed dishes in the break room?
I see what you're doing, but there's, I see what you're doing.
Fuck you, Larry, I do what I want. Like I said, I'm all for recognising the lesser-known contributions made during the war, but I don't think this is the way to go about it. Trying to frame every single person who performed even the most basic admin tasks in the safest environment possible as a hero isn't
They're only doing it because they're specifically women.
just a disingenuous attempt to pretend that chosen demographic group number 2 contributed just as much as everyone else, but it's pretty fucking disrespectful to the actual heroes who fought and died for their countries. Those two things are not the same, so
Not at
stop
all.
trying to pretend that they are. And honestly, it's tough to think of a better example of modern Hollywood entitlement and hubris, not to mention the complete lack of hardship and adversity faced by writers today, that this is what they consider a heroic and inspirational story. And as tempted as I am to watch it just for the unintentional lulz, I think I'm gonna have to give the 6888 a dishonorable discharge. At ease, soldiers, because that's all I've got for today.
All right, bro. Okay, I respect it. Whoa, I've never encountered this man before in his wit and his mouth. Right? But okay, here's the thing, guys. When I watch it, it depends exclusively. But based off of how a lot of these like modern contemporary like female-led movies and is it a movie or is it a show? I don't know. It's kind of confusing. I'm kind of up in the air right now. But let's just for this sake call it a movie. When it comes down to a lot of these things, I'm just like, listen, I'll watch it until it reminds me of Captain Marvel. Okay, so if it's like a "you go girl" moment, basically every 5 seconds, and men are bad, ew, men are disgusting, ew, that type of thing, I'm not really gonna watch it. I'm not gonna give it any energy. I'm just gonna be like, this is a little stupid. Right, this is just a common, typical, modern, contemporary, misandry fest. That's what this is, right? And I'll ignore it. I do think that I can't wait for people to kind of get back to that. Is it worth specifically even kind of talking about it like this? I don't know. I don't think so. Because it's already made. They're going to promote it. They're going to push it. People are going to watch it. Be angry online. I guess it's like a easy content type of thing, right? But generally, when you don't like something, you just bypass it. Hopefully, I hope that's what everyone is doing, at least. Right? Just bypass it. Just ignore the nonsense. Is the story valuable? Maybe, right? Maybe I'll watch it just to see how historically accurate it is. Right, that's my only thing. But based off of the word Jeep being put onto the side of that shipping container, I'm not sure how accurate it's actually going to be. But either way, that's not the point, though. Right? My main issue here is if you don't like something, don't watch it, bro. Don't watch it at all. And again, I like things that are like period pieces and things like that, but if it turns out to be this virtue signaling mess, bro, if it turns out to be this misandrist mess, I have no interest. If it's like constant and consistent, you go girl moments, I'm not watching that nonsense, bro. I'm not going to do that. Why would I do that? Why would I put myself through that nonsense? I mean, there are some guys who like that type of thing. I don't think they like themselves, right? But, bro, do your thing. Enjoy life how you want to enjoy it. If this is your thing, do it. Does it affect me? I didn't put money into this project. I don't care. I'm telling you, I did not put a single dollar into this project. I don't care that much. Right? If you really want to know about what happened at this time, bro, go to the library, okay? Get some information on the actual subject and all these other things. But if you just want to watch some type of random Hollywood put together contemporary DEI, virtue signaling, misandrist, you go girl moments, bro, enjoy this, right? Or sis, enjoy this. Okay, because I don't know how many men are going to be watching this nonsense, guys. But anyway, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. This is my lightsaber. Hey, guys, You guys subscribe to the other channels. Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd, along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Oh, also, Mr. L. Boyd Discusses. Guys, check it out. And if you haven't heard it today, it's amazing.